Yo. Alright, we back. This is my first time doing this shit, man. I ain't never did no shit like this. I'm actually having fun making videos on this shit, just talking about it. It's fun to talk about this shit instead of just putting everything on Facebook, man. But y'all saw the shirt earlier. I'm a Nebraska nigga, born and raised. I'm on Nebraska. I'm on to blast your ass. So naturally, we got to do a video on the chant, top 3 pound for pound, top 5 pound for pound, Terrence Crawford, and I want to address this Errol Spence situation. I'm honestly not too mad at Spence in the sense of the A side B side thing. Bud is the far more accomplished fighter, but Spence is gonna be the one selling the fight in totality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people are more familiar with Errol the way Bully Spence. Shout out CBT. People are more familiar with Spence, and I mean they're willing him out at baseball games, and I mean he's just getting more and more familiar with the public. And you know, credit to Crawford, that's not what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is a hood nigga. Yeah, I remember when a homie was at a party one time and he posted on his Facebook Live or something like that, and you saw Bud in the back on the couch just chilling at a party in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Bud is a round the way type of nigga, so he don't want the glitz and glamour like that. You know, he want to be able to walk through his city and just be like a regular individual. Like, nigga, I'm from here. I ain't no god. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular brother from around the block, out the bottoms. So he doesn't want that type of notoriety that Errol Spence is gunning for. You can't fault him for that. You can't fault him for that, you know what I'm saying? So, but when it comes to the fight, that's when it can be a little bit problematic, because the public is a lot more familiar with Errol Spence than they are Terrence Crawford. So the leverage between the two as far as the selling point of the fight is paramount. So I'm not mad at the 60-40. 60-40 is cool to me, but when it, you know, all the 70-30, that's when you on some other shit, some Hollywood bullshit now. Like you know, that shit is drag out corny. I can't fuck with it in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's no longer about boxing. You know, I got a slogan. I say, are you chasing a legacy or are you chasing a bag? Don't talk undisputed and strap season shit and you're not trying to collect all the straps. You was gunning for Manny. The nigga on the other side of the street got a strap. Ugaz is not a champion. Fuck. So, me personally, I think Bud should take the 60-40 split, because I personally think it's a 60-40 fight. I haven't, you know, I think you know, he should take the route that B-Hop took when it was time for him to face Trinidad. He went in there as the B-side fighter and stopped that nigga. And I think Bud is, I wouldn't say stop, but I think he's gonna completely outclass Spence. You know, and I wasn't too sure of it until I saw him fight Sean Porter. And once I, you know, I watched Sean Porter, and then I watched his next fight against Danny Garcia just a month or some change ago. So I'm that much more and one thing I've noticed, once you know, the minute he doesn't make adjustments on the fly. He doesn't. I've yet to see him make an adjustment over somebody that's he doesn't have the ability to adjust. When you watch Sean Porter fight Keith Thurman, and you saw Sean Porter come in low, try to take every advantage away from Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman was able to see it and capitalize on it, adjust to his adjustment. He would come in low to try and take his jab from him. He's launching that rear uppercut up the middle. He would lunge in and, you know, lunge in like the bulldog that he is. Thurman had the intelligent feet to step back and launch that left hook and force him to reset and rethink on a strategy on how to get inside that man's chest and turn it into a phone booth fight. Errol Spence didn't do that. Sean Porter came in low. He completely neutralized Errol Spence's jab and outworked him. He was in that man's chest, spinning him all around. Niggas was two-stepping in there. Round and round, dip it, now separate, bring it back. and he was just completely just outworking him, just completely outworking him. And then when you watch him fight a nigga like Swift isn't known for the fastest feet. So when Spence is in a position of where he can dictate the pace and he can set the distance and the range of where he wants to fight at, he looks impeccable. But the minute you have the slightest bit of footwork, whether it's front foot, footwork, and what I'm saying, getting into his range and spinning him and turning him off of the rope, or being able to fight off the back foot and set traps, or come in at angles, he's lost. He's like a deer in the headlights. And people keep saying that, yo, he wanted to fight Porter like that. The fuck he did. Because it was to a point where his work rate completely dropped off, and them bitch ass niggas at PVC was just inflating that nigga's numbers. I'm like, yo, that shit is drag out corny. So nah. And when you talk about a dude like Bud who can go lefty righty, move laterally, fight off the back foot. I mean, I've seen him fight off the back foot against bigger fight. I mean, Victor Postol. I think that's one of his I think that's his most underrated victory to this day. Victor Postol is still fighting at a championship level and giving him hell. The champions at 40.